Live. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Madrid United. Welcome to this extra live edition tonight. I needed a little bit of a break. I've got a big exam to do in terms of my work and my other job tomorrow. So to get away from the revision, I thought, what better way just to take my mind off it than come and talk United with all the Madrid army. And live from the streets of wherever he is right now, I've got Dave with me tonight. How are you doing, Dave, pal?
All good, mate. All good. Nice to be on again.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. So, hello to everyone joining in the comment section, and obviously everyone who is going to be watching later on when the video goes up on the channel. So, let's get into it. Firstly, Dave, it's been a while since we've actually spoke, mate, properly. You've been messaging away on most of my videos, leaving your opinion. Obviously, a lot has happened since we last spoke, and I just wanted to get your sort of vibe, let you air your thoughts on what you think and how. Well, is it just pure discontent? Are you completely fed up? Are you an Ollie out now? Where are you at with everything that is actually going on with United at the moment, mate? Have you had enough, or can you see any signs of this getting back on track at all?
I'm not Ollie out, but I'm really pissed off of what I'm seeing. It's just deflating, it's depressing, it's bad, it's just so bad, and I can't see a light at the end of the tunnel at the minute. It's every week I'm just like, why is he picking these players? Why is he picking this formation? Why does he not change things? Every time I see the lineup, I'm like, God, why can I see it and everyone else but he can't? It's so frustrating. But at the minute I'm not Ollie out, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. It's so frustrating at the moment for me. I'm just getting really pissed off every time I see the team sheet. It's the same old crap, and I don't know. I'm just oblivious to it all. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
I think you're not the only one, mate. Hello, Lil United. Hello, Momo. Thanks for the comments, mate. You're not the only one who's sort of, I think the word I would use, dumbfounded. It's just like it's like a total situation. You look at other clubs in the past when they've gone through like really bad spells, it just seems like ours is twice as bad, if that seems right in the way I'm saying that. I know I'm not being cocky or anything, or saying that everyone, or just because it's United, it's worse because it's United than anyone else's crises that they've had in the past. There are obviously a lot of teams that are in a worse situation than United at the moment, but right now it just seems like, like you said, Dave, just the players that he's picking and the way that we're playing, it just doesn't seem like there's any light at the end of the tunnel right now. That's the problem. I think I said it. I wasn't sure if I said it on one of my fan cams the other day, actually, that this is now for me worse than what it was under Mourinho. I don't think I've ever been on or known United to be on such a bad run, and this includes down in the 80s when it wasn't fantastic. But the record speaks for itself at the moment. It is hard to see a way out of this and how Ollie can actually survive if we keep dropping the way we're dropping. But I put it up there on the title of the video, and I said, now, I'm not just saying this because he's put a strong squad out for this game, but I do expect United just to sleepwalk through this group. I'm talking about when we get to the group phases now. And I don't think Ollie is going to go anywhere until this competition is actually out of the way, because knowing United and how they work, they'll probably just make the excuse up and say, look, well, we're still in Europa League, so we've still got a chance of getting back into the Champions League. And is this now a major priority for us going ahead this season? Because I think these next two games now will tell us everything, because if we don't get a victory over Newcastle on Sunday, and I'm thinking we should win tomorrow night, but if we, for instance, don't get the result we need against Newcastle on Sunday, then the pressure is going to be severely mounted onto Ollie's back. And would it just be the most obvious thing to say that the Europa League is probably our only avenue back into the glory that is the Champions League?
Yeah, I believe so. I really do. But see this team we're playing tomorrow, this Dutch side, they're no mugs. They're a good side, and I think it's going to be hard to get a result against them tomorrow. The way we're playing, it's just, I can't see it. I think we'll be lucky to get a draw tomorrow. But yeah, I do think I think the league is just out of our depth at the moment. I can't see us getting top four. So for me, I think he should just go all guns for the Europa League. Well, even still, I still don't think we're good enough to win that. You know, once the Champions League teams come through, you don't know who you're going to get. Like it's crazy. Just I don't know.
I know, mate. I know exactly how you're feeling, mate. I mean, looking into Alkmaar, I did a preview for this game with a Dutch channel. It's Orange. I feel really bad actually not remembering the name. It just keeps leaving my mind. But I'll get it up and I'll post it down in the description below as well, because I did a review on that game with their channel from the Dutch side of it, from the Dutch point of view. And the Alkmaar side, I mean, they drew first game away at Partizan, which is a good result probably for them. The third in the Eredivisie at the moment. They are a very young, vibrant sort of looking team at the moment. That added to the fact that we're playing on an artificial 4G pitch at a stadium that isn't theirs, then, to be honest, the odds are looking against us. He's taken a strong squad. I think there's only Martial and Pogba, who are both obviously injured again. Well, not Martial, but Pogba's injury has come back again. His ankle isn't great, so he's out again. But we have got pretty much everyone who's available in that squad flying over to Holland, and I think Ollie is looking at it saying, can I afford to really lose another game? Can I afford the bad press that another defeat will bring, and will obviously start to pile more and more pressure on him? Because it's like you said there, Dave, before. I mean, it's hard for us to see a way out of this, but you look to your manager for inspiration, and every time you look at him, it's just like he doesn't inspire anything. He just looks like the life is slowly draining out of him, and we fall asleep against this Alkmaar team again tomorrow night, then they're used to playing on this pitch now. Obviously, we train on them inside and stuff like that in practice, but we managed it last season when we went over to Switzerland against young boys. We managed it then, but this Alkmaar team, full of confidence, young, vibrant team, like I said, and me giving my opinion on their side of it, I just said I think they will just bide the time like every other team does, and then they will try and force a mistake from United and capitalise on that, because I think we'll go strong at the back, but I think we might see, I'm hoping we see the likes of Greenwood and Gomez up top. I'm hoping that they get a chance. I want to see Axel play again. More game time for him, the better. But is it a concern going into this game that if we lose this game, or are you actually bothered about the Europa League? Or is it like I said at the start then, Dave, is it just a case of this is our only avenue back into the Champions League now because the league is completely gone, and we're just going to have to keep playing our strongest team every single round that we come into the Europa League?
Yeah, well, he's not playing. He's not playing the youth because what's his interview there? He says he's going to have a bit of youth with experience. So that means Malic is going to play. Mala's playing. He might start Greenwood, but I have a funny feeling he's going to put Rashford in again. He's just going to burn him out. It's crazy, and I think he should go all out for the Europa League. But with this experience he keeps talking about and keeps picking, it's not good enough, is it? Really, Matic and Mata and all these crap players are just past it or they're done. It's like, play the youth. You keep saying you're going to play them, so play them.
Yeah.
And if we do lose the game, you would understand then. You're like, well, it was better football, or he played the youth. You would give him a bit of leeway, but right now he's telling us one thing and doing another. And it's like, you don't know where you stand with him, sort of thing.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from it, because we all know that our midfield is drastically lacking in numbers already, and the only ones that are usually fit are the ones we don't want to see playing in the team. We've got Matic, we don't want to see Matic. We've got Mata, don't think he's quick enough or good enough anymore. And then we're going to see Pereira. Is Fred going to play in this game? And then you're worried again. And then you're worried again about injuries, 3G pitch. Anything can happen with our threadbare squad, and basically the injury record that we have got with our players. Every time a player goes down with what looks like just a minor injury, it turns into a horrible, nasty, long 3 months out injury, i.e. the likes of Martial and Luke Shaw going on nearly 2 months now. So that is a concern because obviously the bigger game is Newcastle at weekend. But like you said then, do we just go out and put... I mean, to be honest, mate, the issue that I've got with it is going all in for the Europa League is... What is all in for the Europa League? Who is our best team? We don't actually know who our best team is. We've got the younger players who are doing better. The fact that this is a prime example of where we're at right now because Mason Greenwood was up for our Player of the Month. He's only started 2 games. And what does that say about the rest of the team? They've been playing obviously a lot more games, but the fact that Mason Greenwood, the 17-year-old who has only started 2 games in the Europa League and in the Carabao Cup, is actually up ahead of all these first team players who've played week in, week out for Player of the Month. Behind him is Scott McTominay and then Daniel James again, who we said last month. Credit to him, but if a player from the Championship last year, a young player who's 17 who's only started 2 games this month, and then Scott McTominay are your nominations for Player of the Month, then is that not saying that that is where our best team is now? The fact that United themselves have put them 3 up, they're the ones that have been voted for the most. They're advertising the Player of the Month, then what is our strongest team? It's not Mata, it's not Matic, it's the likes of these players. And I think, for me, going into the Europa League, I don't even know what our strongest team is. I think the younger players are the strongest team at the moment, Dave. I don't know where you are on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. Our youth is definitely our strongest. I think he'll well, I'm hoping he might play the youth and a bit of experience. But realistically, I would play the youth now, and while we're in the, in the group, and then you can maybe strengthen as you go ahead, go on. But again, it's the experienced players isn't strengthening us; it's actually weakening us, which is just odd.
Yeah.
And then with our best players like Pogba, you've seen the way he's playing him. He's playing him as a defensive midfielder, and he should be, Pogba should be in a number 10. He should be where Lingard's been playing, who's doing nothing, by the way. I don't know what's happened to him. He's just disappeared for 9 months. And even when we have our strong team, he's not playing them the right way. We're putting, Pereira and right midfield, Pogba as a defensive midfielder. Fred never gets, Fred's going to bed early and everything, and he still can't get a bloody game or start anyway. So
I heard, I think it was listening back to some of the Sky Sports punditry, and I think it was Gary Neville who was saying, "Who is Fred? Yeah. What is Fred? What does he do? Does anyone know what he does? Does Fred even know what position he plays? He just runs around like an headless chicken. Does he actually fit into this United team?" You were saying then, Dave, about Pogba playing as a number 10. We've got Pereira, who only turns up when he plays as a number 10. He looks his best position there. We've got so many players to play in certain positions. We haven't got balance in the squad. And Ollie's just playing players, I think, for the sake of it, and throwing players in positions where they don't actually belong. So a lot of these players that do get a lot of stick from United fans, it's not completely all their fault. I mean, Lingard, I totally understand that one. He's just disappeared off the planet. I mean, I called him the ghost last season because he doesn't exist. He doesn't bring anything at all to that team but a bit of energy and a nice dance move for FIFA if he scores a goal, which was in December last time he scored a goal. So he says it all in terms of the stats. I think Luke's just put one on there. Luke says, if we get 9 points from our next 7 games, like we've got now, then we'll be in the relegation zone. And that is dead true, to be honest. You can't really argue with that point. It is what it is. Lille United says they're fine. AZ beat Feyenoord 3-0 away from home. So that's the calibre of team that we're coming up against. They're young, vibrant, like I said, and ready to go. They'll be chomping at the bit to get a hold of United because they'll have done the research. They'll have known where United's weak spots are and where they can get at United. Away from home, United's record is shocking anyway, and it's just going to be, is this the game where we break our away duck? Last time we won was in the Champions League in Europe, but what can we say about this at the moment and this state of affairs that we're on in this run? Everyone's picking up on it now. Gold piece, super chat. Cheers, buddy. Hi guys, which United player is predictably benefiting from being played out of position? Greenwood, Tunsve, Pereira and Pogba. I mean, I think Tunsve fitted him quite nicely on the left for me the other night. I thought he had a really good game against Pepe. The fact that Pepe was off after around about 70 minutes said how well he played for me. Pogba just is losing every bit of soul of football that he's got inside his body being played in that deep role. I don't know how Holly doesn't see it. I mean, he knows he's not playing well and keeps on playing him. Ole Solskjaer is as much of the problem as Pogba is himself at the moment for me, and just the way that he's being played. When Ole came in, he started with the 4-3-3. Pogba was out on the left of the three and was just running the show. He was banging goals in left, right and centre, contributing to every single goal. It's where most of his output came in his stats, where he finished with about 19 goals last season, was when Ole came in. And Ole playing him out position, Pereira playing out position. Pereira shouldn't be in the team, to be honest. He is third choice for a number 10 for me at United. The fact that Ole's trying to squeeze him in on the right hand side is criminal. Greenwood needs to play as a striker. He can't keep coming on the right hand or the left hand side just because Rashford's there. Rashford needs to be dropped. So to answer your question, goal piece, I'd say I think Tunsve is obviously happy and he is versatile more simply because he's a defender. I think most defenders learn the traits of all four positions or all parts of defending. You see centre backs coming out wide now, taking the ball away, so they're all comfortable across the back. So I think, excuse me, man flu is still there. I think the fact that Axel is such a good, accomplished defender and is good on the ball would benefit him playing anywhere on the pitch. For me, I have got no problem with Axel playing at left back for this game, and I've got no problem with Darlow playing at right back. Ashley Young doesn't need to be in the team, but then I would automatically worry that Ollie's saving him for Newcastle, which is a disaster on its own. But there are options there, I think, for us, Dave. I think Darlow needs to come back in. He needs game time. I think we just need to see Fred. He just needs to play some games and see if we can actually find that player that we spent £52 million on. I mean, as going into this Alkmaar game, the back four pretty much pick itself for you, or are you thinking going in a little bit stronger than what we did for like the Astana game?
No, I wouldn't pick Maguire or anyone. I'd put Axel back in the game. I put Axel back in centre back. I actually probably would play Phil Jones or someone in this game, and just put the youth up front. I would try and have Don James. I would actually start Gomez as a number 10 for us as well, and I would do a 4-3-3 and just go for it.
Yeah.
Just to see. I'm sick of this holding midfielders crap. I'm sick of it. Like all his best, like when he took over, his best 3 months was when he played 4-3-3, and since like near the end of the season and starting the new season, he hasn't done it since really. So I think he should do that and have the defense. I'd have Axel and Jones, probably. Was it Williams at right back or left back?
Williams at left back. He could easily come in.
Yeah.
He looks well accomplished against Rochdale.
maybe give Darlow some minutes as well. Give him some minutes if he's fit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play Maguire or Lindelof. I'd put Axel in just because he's good. He's really good, but he's still young at the same time. You can give him some minutes, and he can play 2 games maybe a week.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't risk Maguire or Lindelof really. But for me, I think Axel's better than Lindelof.
Yeah, no,
I really do.
Few people
from what I've seen.
Few people are picking up on that in the comments. Let's go to the comments quickly. Sadiq Rahman, I'm really concerned. I don't think we can beat this team. They are third in their league. Black King, I believe we will win, but we need to start scoring more than 1 goal. That goes without saying. Clive Moore, I've been saying drop Rashford for ages. Tunsve is better than Lindelof, says Lil United, like you said then, Dave. Sadiq Rahman, Rashi needs to be given a rest. Yes, he does. Play Greenwood. Totally agree with that. Play 4-2-3-1.
Yep.
4-2-3-1 doesn't work for me. I think two holding midfield players never, ever works for United. It just seems like it's just saying to the opponents, look, we are not going to attack you. We are just going to try and play on the break. So the opposition straight away counteracts that by just giving the United the ball, and that's it. End off. As soon as we have the ball, we end up losing the game. Simple as that. Jones is still injured, thank God. So that one answers that one day for you. He hasn't travelled.
Good.
Yeah, Red Star Gaming and Goalpiece does picked up on that one in the comment section. So yeah, no Phil Jones, which is always nice to hear. I'm not saying that in a mean way, but every time Phil Jones plays, he's a liability. My God, I'm dying tonight, man. Oh, right. Sorry about that, everyone. So, I mean, my back four would be, if I'm thinking logically ahead of Newcastle, because I still think that Newcastle game could be the game where it turns it around for us and we can actually end the away voodoo and we can progress and actually kick on into the international break with a win. So for me, the priority this week has to be Newcastle. And the team I'd play tomorrow, let's start with defence. Obviously, I'd go with Romero in goal, as always. I'd go Brandon Williams at left back. I'd go Darlow at right back. I'd put Axel at centre back with Marcus Rojo. I don't think there's any issue with that team at all. I think it's got enough there. And with Romero and Rojo there, the Argentinian partnership, it should be more than enough to handle what we've got coming. I know I'm not discrediting or discarding Alkmaar as a team that's not going to threat at all, because I know they probably will. But at the end of the day, I do still think, like I said, Newcastle is the bigger game, and that would be my back four going into this game, because these players need time, and I said it at the start of the season, before the Europa League started, that this is a competition where these players need to play. I'm sort of half given up on achieving anything this season in terms of placements in the league. I know I'm clinging on to a little bit of hope for that, but all I want to see now is some encouragement going in to next season even. And by that I mean some of the younger players given the chance to actually play in the competitions and the games where they should be played. Exactly, mate. I mean, I think the fact that Axel was so accomplished in the Arsenal game pretty much solidifies his spot now, and all he is actually thinking that he can play a big part in this team, especially at centre-back. I can't wait, like most people have said there, to see Maguire and Axel at centre-back partnership. That is something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, so Brandon Williams, again, I think looked our brightest spark when he came on in the second half against Rochdale, so I'd definitely go with him. Rojo needs games, because we need to up his value or keep his value there for us to actually sell him in January, which is what I'm hoping. And then we've got Darlow, who definitely needs game time, flying out on the right hand side. So no issue with that. Would you change anything there, Dave?
No, perfect. Bang on for me. Yep.
That will do us. So moving into the midfield area. And this is where obviously we have got the issues at the moment. I'm not sure. I can't remember seeing Garner's name on the squad that's travelled. I think if we play this right, I'm thinking that we're going to play Matic, because it's a game I want to see him play rather than the Newcastle one. So there's your one experienced player. He can just sit there and hold in front of the defence. And then we can go and maybe try different things in terms of what we're going to do with the rest of the midfield. Hopefully it's a free. I doubt it will be, but I'm going with my wishful thinking of a free. And I think Fred and Gomez should take up the other two spots in that midfield. You could say Gomez could play further up, but I just think he's going to get more of the ball there, and he can create more and come from deeper positions where I think he is better. Coming from the middle of the park into the final third, I think that's where he's actually... he prospers even more. So the midfield three, Dave, any different for you? I've got Matic, Gomez and Fred. and a hopeful 3. Would you put anyone else in there? Anyone else you want to see playing or giving game time?
Yeah, I don't think I'd pick Malic, but I understand what you're saying. I'd rather him playing the Europa than play any, league games or anything else. So I probably would go with that, but I would rather see Fred in there
Yeah.
with the other two that you said, Gomez and it was Gomez and
No, that was
Gomez, Malic.
my 3 there. Matic, Gomez, and
Yep,
Fred.
yep. Yeah, well, Fred, Malic. Yeah, probably would go with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
start. Yeah,
it just gives us a chance to, get the players that need to play and the players that should be playing this level, i.e. the fringe Deadwood players, and get their games out of the way, shut them up, stop them moaning about not playing. Lille United, Darlow, I think he's injured, Adam, or not. I think he's definitely in the matchday squad, mate. I've definitely seen that. That's 100%. So good to see him actually back.
Yep.
And hopefully he gets the 90 minutes out of him, because I just fear for that. I should have been worrying about that 4G pitch. I don't think it's any big deal for us playing on that, but I think just a case of, I just fear for United players in general when it comes to injuries, and anything that's going to enhance that chance of injury, then obviously I start getting the jitters and starting to worry, because there's certain players I want to actually be able to be available for the weekend as well, because moving on to the front 3, then I would be playing, simply because I cannot stand the sight of him in a Premier League game. I would put Lingard in there, as painful as it is to say it. Obviously, Greenwood definitely needs to play. And then I would give, and I know people are going to say he was absolutely garbage in the Astana game and the Rochdale game, but I would give Chong back in his home country. I'd just give him a shout again. Just you know what? There's no harm in playing him again in this game. And maybe he'll step up to the plate. Maybe he would have learned, but we're not going to know unless we give him another chance. And there's no pressure, because we're not at Old Trafford. He's not playing in front of the Old Trafford crowd. Maybe he needed to get a little bit of a different atmosphere and give it a go again. I mean, he was dreadful in the first 2 games that we've played this season, but that would be my front 3. I mean, you could even play Rashford in there instead of him, because Rashford plays every game. It's just simple with Ollie. He's just going to pick him no matter what, and we always end up having to just sit there and watch the same old, which is chance after chance after chance missed by Rashford. But I don't know. I think he's just playing him, hoping he's just going to score the goal and kick on. But how many chances do you give a guy? Would you mix that up any other way, Dave? Would you give anyone else a shout in that front 3? I know we're threadbare as it is, but is there anyone else you'd want to play in there?
No, I wouldn't risk anyone else. I wouldn't risk James because he's just too good. I wouldn't risk James. No. I would go with Chung actually, because I didn't agree with all the stick that he got, because he's young. He's going. He might not be good enough, but you won't know until he has a load of games. He's played 2 games. It's one of them things. He could turn out good, or he can turn out not good enough. But I think it's perfect just to throw him in. As you say, he's on his home turf. He might be up for it. You never know, but I wouldn't risk anyone else. On Rashford, I'm sick of seeing him. He's just piss poor. I think he's burnt out, and he just needs a rest, I think. But for some reason, you think he's going to play him, isn't he?
I know.
I don't know why. I just don't understand.
He just keeps on getting in there every single week. It's so disheartening.
Yeah.
Nicholas Bryan on comments says, "What does Gomez have to do to start playing Ollie? Just to get a start. This man is clueless. Mark my words. Relegation battle if we don't change tactics." Relegation battle, God. That word keeps creeping in every week and coming in more and more, because the form doesn't lie. You can't ignore how we're playing, and you can't ignore the teams that are beating us easily. And it is a little bit of a worry going in. Luke Madman, do you honestly think Ollie will be here next season? I really doubt it. Here we go. We're getting into the Ollie conversation again now. Rashford at the moment, worst main striker we have ever had at United. He needs to be dropped for Greenwood. Diddley Squat, love that name. That's a great YouTube name, that, mate. But yeah, going back to Ollie again. Every single player that's having an issue at the moment, Ollie has got a part of that to play. He really has, because I've said it and I keep saying it. I'm like a broken record. I say it. He's rewarding mediocrity. He really is. He's playing players that are playing absolutely garbage. And what is their goal? What have they got to aspire to aim for? If they're thinking that this is going to get me in the team every single week, and it's just not working for us. I mean, they say, it's the old saying, the table never lies. We're in 10th right now. It's our worst start in 30 years to a league season. Never mind the Premier League. We've gone through the Premier League now. This is now 30 years going back into the old Division 1 days. This is where we're at now. It's the worst it's ever been. I think our goal tally, the fact that we're averaging less than 1 goal a game since the opening day of the season, has been picked up on the comments as well. It gives us absolutely zero confidence going into even these games. The Europa League, I mean, we've run out of luck with average opposition now, because we've got Chelsea in the Carabao Cup next, and I can't see, hand on heart, honestly, any way of getting through that one. I'm just lost for sort of excuses for Ollie and ways he can get out of it. I mean, he can stop playing the same old players for one. He can show some balls and drop Rashford. There's one start to it. And he needs to demand a lot of money in the transfer window. Evening Adam, Rave616, how are you doing, mates? Thanks for coming in. Don Ragnar, Tony Pulis in. Oh God, no more defensive managers, mate. Although he probably would get a better tune out of us at the moment. That's saying something.
Yeah, he'd use Maguire for strength.
Yeah, he's saying Tony Pulis with a snapback cap for the relegation dogfight, end of the season. Yeah. Oh God, we're thinking like might as well bring Big Sam in just to get us through this relegation fight before the end. But oh man, it is a tough one at the moment. It really is. It's not much confidence with any United fans, and I don't think, Dave, it's going to get any easier over the next few days, because these two games are literally just so important right now, and we're looking at it saying, we've got to get this Europa League game, just get it out of the way. But it's important, I think, for giving the players a little bit of confidence. We can end the away day voodoo, and we can, you know what, maybe we can kick on, take a little bit of confidence going into Newcastle. The state that Newcastle are in at the moment, it would be an absolute disgrace if we didn't come away with a win there. And I think I would start to think that would be a sign of, you know what, I think Ollie would be thinking for his job then. I think a lot of fans who are sort of still Ollie in, then I think they would start to be swayed as well, because that's too much to take. It really is. 8 games into the season, we don't beat Newcastle. We've only got 2 wins. I was listening to a radio coming in the other day, and I think it was Danny Higginbottom was talking about United, and he said both of United's wins this season have come when teams have actually gone at them at Old Trafford. And the word both, knowing that we're in October, and just the fact that he said both games that we've won, I mean, my God, we're in October, mate, and we're hitting into double figures of games after this weekend now, and 2 wins. I'm not even counting Rochdale, because we didn't win the game. So you can understand why fans are the way they are. Let's just get into a few of the comments and pick up on them. Sadiq Rahman again. I would like Ollie to play the youth. Rashford needs to be given a rest, and Greenwood needs to be playing. Also play Chong. Yeah, I think he's pretty much agreed with us there on that one. I do agree with that. Rave616, evening Adam. The thing that's really worrying me, that there are Ollie's saying like we're not far away, etc., etc. The players think it's acceptable for them to be playing this bad. Yeah, I think I've touched on that. It's like rewarding mediocrity, and the fact that Ollie's saying we're not far away after that West Ham game, and then he's come out this week and said we're probably the one game where we weren't even playing well. I mean, I don't know which game we played well in. We had a good 20 minutes against Chelsea. If he thinks we're playing well, but then totally contradicting himself by saying the West Ham game we didn't play well, having come out after that game and said we're not far away, then I can understand Rafe's issues there. I can understand his worries. And it's, I mean, I think, what is it now? After these next 2 games, and we know we've got Liverpool coming up as well. And I think Liverpool have never been more confident coming to Old Trafford than what they will be in a few weeks. I dread to think what's going to happen. You could get similar scenario. I know Liverpool fans will be worried coming to Old Trafford that their run would end at Old Trafford. I think if you offered any Liverpool fan maybe a draw or a defeat to Leicester this weekend, they'd probably take that, get the loss out of the way before they come to Old Trafford, because all they're thinking about now is just losing to United. They got bigger fish to fry now. It used to be complete vice versa. These teams used to just love coming and beating United, and that made their season. But moving ahead, Dave, I mean, honestly now, looking and listening to what everyone else has said now, where would you think the cut-off's going to be for Ollie if this continues now? Is it going to be going into the Newcastle game, losing that, maybe kicking off the next lot of fixtures after international break with Liverpool? I can't see us getting anything out of that. Yeah. Norwich away coming up as well. That doesn't look very good for us, the way we're playing away from home. The fact that we're writing off every single away game at the moment, we're looking to the home games as like the one bit of light where we can actually grab some points. But then knowing that Liverpool's coming up, how are we going to actually start giving away the points at home as well? I mean, we haven't won. We haven't won at home. At home, I think it was Leicester we won, and Chelsea won both our games at home. But then we didn't beat Rochdale. We didn't beat Arsenal. Where's the cut-off point for you, Dave, in terms of Ole? When would be and what would be the final straw? Because some people are already there now, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Like, if he gets beat by Newcastle, I think that maybe might be it for me. Liverpool, definitely. It's just it is getting there for me, but I just keep thinking in my head he might turn it around. I just keep thinking about them 3 months. I just keep thinking, how did he do that, and how is it so bad now? And he's actually strengthened in defence. You know, maybe not going forward, and we're quite thin on the squad. But I just keep thinking, will he turn it around? And because I love him. He's a childhood hero, man. I love Ollie, and all I wanted him to do is just do well. And it's not looking good. Like, I have a funny feeling it doesn't matter how bad we, how bad we get. Man United aren't going to sack him unless it's maybe mathematically possible that we're going to finish below 10. Then I think they might, throw the hell up. But I think he's here for another season, maybe another season after.
Yeah.
For me, but I can't see them settling anytime soon.
I do think that's important. I think there is. Excuse me. I think there is 2 lines there in terms of when the final straw actually would be. There is the fans' final straw, which a lot are at already, like I said, and a few more may go after this weekend if it doesn't go right. But then there's the final straw for the Glazers and Ed Woodward. I mean, they're talking like we're completely behind Ole Solskjaer. We have a long-term plan. Basically, write this season off. It doesn't matter what happens. You just keep paying your money and coming to watch United, knowing that all us staff here at Manchester United have completely ripped this season off. It's an absolute disgrace. And like you said there, mate, I think Ollie's in till the end of the season, at least. I don't think he'll go anywhere. Yep. Or worst case scenario for Ole, I actually think that it will be a case of, if he goes out the Europa League and it is looking clear and obvious that we're not going to get back in that top 4 like it is now, to be honest, then that might be the final straw for him. Maybe they'll give him a cup run, but Chelsea in the Carabao, like I said, I can't see us getting past them unless they really turn up and completely surprise us. But that's the problem at the moment. I think Lil United just picked up on it there as well. He says nothing excites me about United. Nothing surprises me with United anymore. Well, one thing that does surprise me with United is the fact that we would win a game. That's the surprise now. You're going into a game thinking, okay, what have I got going into this game that's going to give me any belief and confidence? The fact that we're averaging 1 goal a game over the last 8 games that
So
we've played
sad.
against some absolute crap as well. This is 1 goal, less than 1 goal a game average. Let's name the teams. Let's go through them. We've had Wolves, Palace, Leicester, West Ham,
Yeah.
Rochdale, Astana. You know, we've had Arsenal at
I haven't
home.
played them. I haven't played anyone really good yet.
No?
Bar Arsenal, maybe. Arguably Arsenal, who are shit too, really. But wait until we play City or Liverpool. I'm dreading it.
Yeah, mate.
I am dreading it. Like, I'm
Different.
going to the Liverpool game and I'm dreading going.
Here is one for you.
Never
Can
ever
you
dreaded it.
imagine? Can you not imagine United playing against that Bayern Munich team last night after what they did to Spurs?
Oh,
Oh man, they would just be
they get
licking their
ripped
lips.
apart.
I honestly
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, I said earlier when I did the review for the the Alkmaar game with the Dutch channel. I still got the vibe, and I think that still is clinging around a little bit in Europe, that the name of Manchester United becomes before with the actual team and how we're playing and the form. I do still think that a lot of teams are just giving us a lot more respect, a lot more than we actually deserve, simply because we are Manchester United. But I feel like that's drifting away as well now a little bit. The fact that Astana held us to just 1 goal, and really we didn't create anything against them. I think Rochdale just completely humiliated us. They had the best chance in the game as well as scoring. And then, now moving on to Alkmaar, I think you might get a bit of respect off them for the first 20 minutes, but as soon as they realise how bad we actually are, then United will be in trouble, because they're no slouches. You've said it yourself, Dave, there. I mean, they beat Feyenoord away from home, the third in the league. That's only behind PSV and Ajax, I think. And Ajax, obviously, semi-finalists last year in the Champions League.
Yep.
And it says a lot about where they're at. They're rebuilding. I don't mean that as any punt or joke, obviously, because the stadium collapsed. That is obviously a bad state of affairs.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that they are playing at a neutral ground benefits them as well, and the fact that it is a 4G pitch again. And everything coming together just seems to be bad, and just all coinciding for nearly every single game we get. I mean, I was talking to a Liverpool fan today and was talking about the way football works and how funny things happen in football. The fact that Brendan Rodgers going back to Liverpool will be the one who breaks their run. Then Newcastle on their asses. Steve Bruce, ex-United captain, is bound to be United, who he beats just to keep himself in the job and keep them fans happy. United we just seem to have rolled over for every single team that we've played. We just don't seem to have any bite or guts about us at all anymore, and I'm just running out of things to say and ways I can think of that we're going to get out of this, and that's the concern for me. It's like before I would look for signs and say, look, I've seen something in that game where I think, you know what, we have got something. I've not seen it once this season. I knew we had to be clinical because we didn't invest properly in the summer, and games weren't going to be like endless amounts of chances like a lot of the other top teams in the Premier League. And we have to be clinical, and we just haven't got the strike force to be clinical. Is there any light for you, Dave, before we wrap things up, that you could actually see United in a way, or anyway, this season, let's just stick to this season, forget about summer and what might happen then. We've got a long way to go this season, mate. Is there any way out of it for us?
I can't see any light at the moment. I don't think anyone does. That's getting worse, isn't it? It's getting worse every season or every year. And the decisions that are being made, you know, nearly 7 years ago when Alex Ferguson retired, I was heartbroken, but I never thought we'd fall so far behind and it to be so bad. I never thought it would get this bad because of the size we are and the big we are. You know, it's no ambition. It's crap. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to get worse before it gets better, which sounds insane because how could it get any worse than this? But I have a feeling it's going to get worse. I do. I'm just sick to death of it, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to going to see them play Liverpool anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's just get into a few of the comments, see if people agree. Are you going to the game tomorrow, Adam? No, I'm not. You said at the start of this video, I'm just in the middle of revising for a big exam I've got for a new qualification. Well, it's an important one for my work, so I had no way of making this game. To be honest, I didn't really apply for this game. I got sort of nervous as soon as an announcement came out, and this was before Thomas Cook actually went down. Obviously, Thomas Cook are the ones who deal with all United away travel, or have been doing, but before it actually broke about Thomas Cook or any sort of news was coming out there, they actually decided that they weren't going to do a trip. So I sort of got a little bit of the frighteners then that something might have been going wrong. And to be honest, it just doesn't fit my work, so I'm not going. Newcastle, yes, I'm looking forward to the day, but to be fair, I'm still worried about that one. I really am. Good luck with the exam. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Them Geordies will be up for it, don't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So let's just have a look at a few other comments. Adam, as long as the Glazers and Ed Woodward are in charge, nothing will change. Lille United, no, you're 100% right, mate. Maybe relegation would be a good thing for us right now. It's the only way I think we're going to get rid of these parasites when everything dries up. We just got to accept where we are right now and be real about it, because they're not going to invest like they said they're going to invest. I'm pretty convinced of that. And it's just like you said, Dave, there. It's just like clinging on to little bits of hope. It's just not good enough for what we are and the size of the club, but it is literally where we are. Rave616, here's a thought. Most of the players we're coming up against were 6 or under when we won the treble, so there's no fear factor as they don't remember how fearsome we were. Yeah, that's a good point. They are a very, very young team, Alkmaar. Fearless is the word. All young players are fearless. It's what we need right now, because our senior players are just bottlers. Let's be honest. Constantly letting us down. So why not play some different team? I've said it, until the players of Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and obviously Ole now, until them players are gone, mainly the three managers before, and the bad habits that picked up in that time, in them 4 years, 5 years with them three managers before Ole, until them players are gone, then this isn't going to change. They've proved season after season, manager after manager, that they're not good enough, and until they are completely weaned out, then I don't think it will improve. It really won't. There's players there that just don't belong and are just stealing a living off United. Let's see. City and Liverpool will hand us our asses. Alien Tenno. Yeah, I agree with that one. I think there's no way I can actually see us getting anything at all out of them games. I'm just being honest. I really am. If Rochdale are better than Spurs, then it says more about us and Ole United. Oh, that's a conversation that you guys are having between yourselves. Yep, you carry on. Argue amongst yourselves, people. I'll just crack on. Yes, Michael Hill. Yes, Adam. Yes, mate. Thanks for dropping in, pal. We're about to wrap things up now, because there is literally, just as I say that, he does that every time to me goal piece. Every time something's happening, he drops a super chat in on me, don't you, mate?
He must have got the lottery one, haven't he?
Yeah, man, he loves it. I love him. He's brilliant. If you had two PDs, what do you mean by two PDs, mate? Oh, what's that all about? Is that just an abbreviation I'm not with for modern day one? But let's just crack on. Would you give it up for 1, Matic's wailing, 2, Lingard's twerking? Oh, I see where he's going. He's going with another joke. He always throws a joke one in on me and makes me read it out. Right, here we go. Right. If you had two PDs, what would you give it up for? 1, Matic's wailing, 2, Lingard's twerking, 3, Ollie's speech on political issues surrounding Britain and the EU. There's an next to every single one of them answers, isn't there, mate? Let's be honest. It is. You just picked up on it there. I mean, inspiration-wise, the fact that Ollie's in charge, well, Lingard did what he did. Matic has come out wailing and moaning, like you said. And then you look to Ollie to be the one to actually rectify that and discipline or do something or give you some encouragement that the players can't just do what they want. And then you look at Ollie sat in them press conferences and you go, well, he's not even bothered, is he? It doesn't look like he's bothered. He's just slowly dying a slow death, it seems, sat in that hot seat. And it is. He does. It's just when he speaks, I just can't understand his thought process or what he's saying or his meaning. It just seems to have killed him off. I mean, we've seen it destroy David Moyes. We've seen Van Gaal completely lose it. And we've seen Mourinho do what he did. And now we're just claiming another one in Ollie, it seems. He's going down the same road, just dropping more and more defensive in his football and more defensive in his press conferences and everything that he talks about. There's no encouragement there whatsoever, and it is a big worry, like you said, Dave. Yeah. Finishing up, mate, what score are you going for against Alkmaar, mate? Tough question. 1-0 to us. Favourite scoreline for victories at the moment.
Bit optimistic.
Yeah, that's the best we're going to get, I think, mate. We are all open to be surprised by United and hope that they do come out and actually put on a performance, but none of us are really holding our breath, let's be honest. None of us are holding our breath. But yeah, let me know, people, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow night? We'll save the Newcastle one for when it comes at weekend, but Alkmaar tomorrow, I'm going to go, I said 1-1 on the preview with the Dutch channel. I think that's probably the best we can hope for at the moment, unless he goes all out young, sort of looking line up, and it's a completely different team and no bad habits in there, and they just go for it. I can't see why he wouldn't want to do, but two people straight away have come in with 1-1 there. Vandy Candy and goal piece agreeing with me. See no one going for more than one goal again. We just got used to the fact that we can't score more than one goal in a game. 0-0 Welsh Dragon, wow. That's just depressing, isn't it, mate?
It might be a 0-0 game, to be honest.
I totally agree, mate. 1-0, scrappy 1-0. Dylan Bailey, Lille United 1-1. Ones and nils everywhere, mate, Dave. No confidence in anyone. No confidence in anyone. Right, so I'm going to let you get back to your Wednesday nights. Go and watch some Champions League football, some real football. Even Rafe said 0-0 as well. Cheers for everyone who's come on in the comment section. Sorry about my voice. It's still not quite right. It's still not there. I'm going to go get something to eat. The wife has just come home, so go and see how her day was. And then and then I've got to go and do some more revision for my exam tomorrow. Wish me luck, everybody, in that. Dave, thank you for coming on, mate, at such short notice. If you need a taxi, whereabouts are you, Dave?
I'm in Belfast, only one over here.
Northern Ireland. Anyone over in Northern Ireland who's in Dave's vicinity there, he's just waiting there on the side of the road. So go check him out, haul him down, get back home, get to the takeaway, whatever you're doing tonight. But that's it for us. We're going to leave it there. I will catch you all before the Newcastle game, obviously, and we'll be talking over what actually happens tomorrow night as well. So enjoy the game tomorrow if you can, people. I will see you over the weekend, maybe Friday. I'm not sure which day we're going to do yet, but obviously we're going to have a lot to talk about then. More rally press conferences to get through and another game to get through, hopefully a little more exciting than the last. But that's it, people. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll catch you at weekend. Bye-bye.